Make sure this thing, just one second. Make sure we're recording here.
We can put that up on the stand. Let's pull another stand and do a reversal in second.
Oh, I got it. Well,
because I'm going to need this stand to set some. Yeah, you can set it like, see those stands over there?
Yes, sir.
Make yourself at home.
Okay.
Get one set up there.
Yeah.
I'll tee up this guitar. I'm just going to borrow one. I left my.
You look like you can borrow any one you want in here.
Well, yeah.
See, I don't know if I should put it reversed, because if I put it reversed and everything's reversed. So
okay, whatever you want to do.
Feels better this way, as long as it's.
But my normal guitar, I forgot it was downstairs. I was doing some recording.
Yes, sir.
For a guy this weekend, and I forgot it was down there, so I just gonna have to. I miss it, man. It's my main guitar.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's an electric, so it's better on acoustic that I have a kind of acoustic, so I can kind of show you my finger in your hands and stuff. So, the first thing was holding that pick. So you hold it with the thumb and the first finger. And like I said, there are people that don't use a pick. They use their thumb and fingers. And I've had students said, man, I think I'm just going to try with my thumb for a while. And I said, let's go for it. And then eventually I say, let's try the pick a little bit. But let's start off with the pick, because I believe most of us like that. Pick on a steel string. So you got 2 fingers holding it. They work together. You got 3 fingers that are independent, and they fly free. Later, we'll do this first thing. If you want, you can pick that top string, and the bottom 3 strings you can play with these 3 fingers. And so you're down here on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. So there's 6 strings. Yeah, you can use all your fingers. But we don't do that the first lesson, but I just show you that's where we're headed for balancing the hand. Now we do this the first lesson, where we anchor the pinky, and we hold that up, and we'll start on the, and let's move that tuner out of the way, because we're going to get down to the 1st string here in a little bit, and you're going to need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So with the pinky down, that gives your hand some stability, and I call it an anchor. And when you pick the guitar, single string, you usually put an anchor down. When you strum the guitar,
is that like this?
Yeah,
Is that what you mean?
just kind of giving your hand some stability there. If you're working on something real small, like electronics, or a doctor working, he anchors his hand, so you anchor that.
Keep it steady.
Yeah, to pick between the strings. But when you strum the guitar, you can pick up your anchor, because you got to go further, so you don't anchor it. So we'll start with this. We'll start with the top string, and we want the pick also to be square with the guitar. We don't want like an angle. We want it to come in everything
kind of like just straight down.
Yeah, pretty square. Okay. And we're going to go 4 on this top string, and then 4. That's the 6th string, and then 4 on the 5th string. Ready, go. And then, let's anchor that hand. Let's do groups of 4. Okay. 3, 4. Then we go to the next string. Then we go back up to the top string. So you're counting groups of 4. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, change. 1, just like an exercise.
Okay.
Just like we're doing a dance exercise.
Oh, okay. That's like 2, 4 and then 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 by 4. Here we go. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Back. That's the bass line. And groups of 4. 2, 3. Back. 2, 3, 4. We're just learning to pick. You're doing a good job there. Just get the rhythm and you got it. And I'm going to add something. You keep playing, okay? Good. You got it. So that's what we call pick practice. Okay. And the first thing I like my students and myself to do when I pick it up is I just kind of get my bearings, and I do some sort of a pick practice. Let's start on the bottom string. Now this is the 1st string. We'll do the same thing. 4 of these. And go ahead. And 4 of these. Okay. Back and forth. Very good. Now go all the way up with the other strings, and we're going to go to the 3rd string. And we're going to start 4 by 4 all the way on all 6 strings. Okay. Okay. Let's start in that bottom string, because that's the 1st string where most teachers in books, there's, it's sort of like biblical doctrine. There's a divide, but it's okay. It's like, to me, it's not ultimately important. It's like Pepsi and Coke. Some guitar teachers like starting their student on the 1st string. Some like starting them on the 6th string. And the student's going to play them all anyway. So we're going to start in the 1st string. Okay. and we're going to go up by fours. 4, 3, up 1, up the ladder there. 4 more. You got it. 1 more. Now let's go back down. Start there. Yeah, that's just basic pick practice. You're getting a pretty good tone. Just relax. Kind of let the pick use the gravity to help you. Just let it fall. It becomes really natural, really easy. Good. You got it, man. The next step, the next step is we want to do this. We don't use it yet when we perform for a while, but we want to see the technique of going down, up, the next string. And so we're going to start with it down, but we're going to do 4, and we're going to alternate that pick going down and then back up.
Oh, we're going to go down first 4 and then back up 4?
No, like back and forth. Down, up, down. Change? Yeah, every 4. Down, here, up. Just get that hand kind of moving, just that flow there.
Okay. All right.
Start again. Good. There you go. Now you want to practice that. That's just like a flow. You're like a dance move. And you want to use, like, let's pretend like we've got a mechanical device here.
Okay.
You want to use a little more wrist when you're picking. So you're using your wrist. When you're strumming, you use more arm because you're going further.
What's a good comfortable spot for it?
Right where you got it. I like to just, and this is what everybody says, you can kind of snuggle up with it however you want.
Yeah.
You want to be comfortable. If you're not comfortable, we'll figure something out. I have had students that just, they're not comfortable. We put a strap on it, kind of help them hang it. Whatever works for you.
And then another thought I've had is do I really need to see where I'm picking? Or, because I've seen people that they've been playing for so long, they don't need to see where they're picking anymore. So should I not worry about that too much right now? I see myself like that, or is that a good thing to do?
Good question. Yeah, use your eyes to help you.
Okay.
There are a lot of blind people who play it very well.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you can feel where that is, you can hear it. So at some point, push yourself to not look.
Okay.
But it's fine at first. I recommend using your eyes to
Yes,
get
sir.
your bearings. That's my recommendation.
No.
So you're doing well with your picking, and we're going to take that to the next level. Now, I'm going to make this look better when I quit teaching school and I have time to work here. But this is just an old handwritten, but it works. I've used this for 15 years. And it's basically, it's a blues pentatonic scale, but it also is a beginning exercise where you play the 3rd fret and then you play open on the 1st string. And you've heard of tablature and tabs?
No.
No? Okay, so in the string world, whatever string instrument we're playing, there's a form of notation called tablature. And, and tab is the amount of strings on the guitar. It's 6.
Oh,
if you're playing a bass, it's 4 or 5. If you're playing a ukulele, it's 4. And so we write out the tablature. Now, traditional notes look like this. Now, anybody can play that: piano, guitar, flute. You know, we can read those notes. It's universal. But it takes longer to understand that notation. So for adults, unless they request for me to teach them traditional notation, I use this. It's called tab or tablature. And it shows you the 6 strings, and O means no fingers. You've been playing what you've been playing. O, O, O. Then you go to the next line, like, let me find an O on it. Like, you've been playing O, O, O. Then the next line, 2nd string. See, that's what you've been playing in tablature. So it just becomes easier to quickly grasp the language without having to learn some extras that aren't necessary, unless you want to study music, thoroughly. So this is our tablature. See, and we start on that 1st string and we go 3rd fret, which is on that little dot there. And I'm going to ask you to use your 3rd finger for now. It's like baseball. We got
like here.
Yeah, and this is on a guitar. This is 1st, 2nd, 3rd.
Oh, like
on
this?
a piano, this is 1st. But yeah, that's 3rd. That's 3rd. Yeah.
Okay.
So you got that there. That's 3rd, and you want to, when you fret a note, you want to be ideally next to that fret, like it's a starting line for a race. Just right up.
Now hurting's natural, right?
Yeah. It should. Look, you
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
it's steel strings against flesh, so it's going to cause pain. It's like working a shovel or a hammer, and it's going to be calloused at some point and not hurt. But at first, a little bit of discomfort there.
Yeah. So it's like this one.
3rd fret. First, so these little wires are frets, right?
1, 2, 3.
And so you press right next to that 3rd fret and on the 1st string, and you play that. Go down to the bottom string with that.
This one.
The 1st string. Okay, so the 1st string, is this. Now and I'm not going to do this on your guitar. But this is weird because the tablature is like it's upside down. So like when I'm picking the guitar, it's like this is the first string, this bottom string. See? And the second string.
Now that makes sense.
And my young students say, why did they do it that way? I say, I don't know. I don't know who invented this.
Yeah, they're just
But
like.
it kind of makes sense. After you learn to read it, it makes sense to me.
So it's
too.
reading it upside down from
Yeah.
what I'm learning. Yeah, okay.
So that's like your bottom string.
Okay.
And they call that the first string. You start at the bottom, right? And work
Oh,
up
the
first.
bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
First, second, third, work
Yeah.
up.
Okay, and you said the third, so
Yeah.
it's right here.
Right there.
Well, on this third finger though.
Play the third fret, and then you play open like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And just kind of relax, let the gravity kind of work, and just kind of let your hand fall with that. You don't want to, like that, and then play open. Very good. So that's the first two notes of that tablature. And then they go and they do it again on the second string, and they go 3-0 on the second string. That sounds like this. So we have 4 notes. We have 3 on the first, open first, 3 on the second, open second.
Okay.
That's that first 4 notes on that little top line there. Yeah, hit it just real solid. Yeah, we're not doing pull-offs yet. You can go later, okay? Right now, just go.
Well, I like that little thing.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I always tell my
I want
students,
to do it.
you'll find stuff you can just bind on there, and you're still doing it too fast. You want to secure that note, and then you want to play open.
Give me some Band-Aids.
Oh, come on. We gotta get the old grit going here.
Okay, so when I hit it, just hit it and stay there and then come off. Oh, I see. Little. Okay. Oh, you wanted to do that? Make it look good.
Well, we'll do that too. Yeah, that's all. It's all there. And I'm going to ask you to use this finger or this finger because you're going to need this finger in a minute for the
Okay, so
second
this
fret.
one or which one?
Let's use this one. Let's use that middle finger on the third fret.
Okay.
There you go. That big strong finger you got.
Yeah,
there.
that's
that's your heftiest one there.
Yeah.
And then you play open. That's it.
Oh.
So you play. And then you can do the same thing on the second string.
Okay.
And use that big finger.
That one.
He's the offensive tackle there.
He got messed up.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's the strongest one on your hand there. That big finger's got that big old. Yeah. Some weight to him. And then you play the same middle finger. Yeah. So that's going to be our first little exercise. It's just playing. I'm going to have you play all the way to here.
Okay.
So it's just, you got first string,